He's here to kick robo-butt, to drink soda, and he's all mullet. This is Mullet Madjack, an in-your-face, first-person shooter where the crowd is watching and your own blood is fan service. The game blends an old-school OVA art style straight from the 80s with boomer shooter action. You have no idea for how long I've been dying to play a video game in an art style like this. Thankfully, Mullet Madjack makes it happen. The game is developed by Hammer 95 Studio and published by Epopia Games. Oh man, I hope I didn't butcher that. Anyway, Mullet Madjack initially began as a modest project started by a two-gamer team if I recall correctly. I've been waiting to play the game ever since. Thankfully, Game Pass owners can pick up the game and start shredding robo-billionaires. The game is Doom meets Hotline Miami. Hey, that's the way how I see it. The player assumes the role of the moderator and you have to slay, as in moderate the robo-billionaires to rescue the influencer princess. Easy, right? Wrong. You have to move fast, keep the dopamine counter up, and try not to die. Should the player get iced, you have to begin all over again in each chapter. Oh, and did I mention you lose all your upgrades too? Mullet Madjack is an intense game that makes an L feel like an L, forcing players to start again with only a mere pea shooter of a pistol. The art style of the game is what I fell in love with. It's inspired by the animation of the 80s and 90s, back when anime was less high school drama and a whole lot more gritty. Oh no, I'm not just talking about Hellsing. We had many great brutal masterpieces like Bubblegum Crisis, Wicked City, Golgo 13, Angel Cop, the list goes on. Do check those out. Just who on earth says that just because something's animated it must be targeted at younger audiences? We all know that's not the case with the masterpieces of animation that I just mentioned. Oh, and you have to keep your countdown up because if the clock strikes 0, it's game over, mate. Just simple game over. So you don't have to just simply worry about dying, you also have to keep the counter and therefore the dopamine meter up. The fans are watching. Hey, speaking of animation, this was also the same era when we had Thundercats, Transformers, Johnny Quest, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What a wonderful era it was for pop culture. The music also is a perfect fit of synthwave. I would certainly expect nothing less. As I mentioned earlier, the game prioritizes lightning-fast reflexes, excellent alertness, and being nimble on one's feet. Stop and you're done. Think Doom, but in a future cyberpunk parody of the 1980s, with references scattered throughout. Can you spot them all? Okay, I'll help you out a little. The intro of the game begins with the famous Akira slide, something that got referenced and memed like crazy, and for good reason. Well, looky here. The game allows you to just simply adjust your difficulty to suit your playstyle or how much of a challenge you want. Talk about bespoke intensity, and the menus of the game are so beautifully made. When it's time to moderate some robo-billionaires and rescue the influencer princess, you don't need to stand outside the door and calculate each move. You have to kick it in and start blasting and try not to get blasted. Mullet Madjack stages are all randomly generated, so there is no point in memorizing. It's all about the reaction and the upgrades later on, but mostly about being quick on your feet. The gameplay and the story is straightforward, nothing too complicated, and we want something like this once in a while rather than questioning our own morals or trying to come off as edgy and failing in the process. It's just non-stop cheesy action and I'm all for it. Rather than give you a whole lot of content, I feel the game is short, but it's sweet. Well, I do feel the occasional frame rate stutter, but this indie game has superior quality control to a AAA company, and I will let that slide, even though I'm sliding in Mullet Madjack all the time. Well, this was certainly one of my shorter reviews, but I suppose time really does fly by when you're having fun. I've covered all there is to Mullet Madjack. That means it's time for the official Game Trigger score. I rate it an 8 out of 10. Mullet Madjack hits all the right areas, has an interesting as well as a unique take on the boomer shooter FPS subgenre, which I feel is making a comeback. And it's not giving you anything unnecessary, you're right into the action. That's what I love about Mullet Madjack, and I truly respect the zero to hero hustle of the studio. It's a shining example of an ambitious idea that won. Will we ever see a sequel or maybe an expansion? I'd love to see it, but let's see if these guys can top the original, though I certainly have my faith in them. Any last words? Well, alright Chainsaw Boy, welcome to Band World. Oh, in case you're still here, do take some time to enjoy the rest of the gameplay. Game Trigger out.
Make them pay!
Just trust your gut.